I'm going to read a little from my most recent book, GROWL MUD. It's available on my website, round and about. You can find me on Facebook. Or if you give me $10, I'll probably just send you one. I just like people to read it. This first one, it's called The Unscripted Evolutionary Track of Night Shift River Critters. I write a lot of work. These nights a man might grow back into a bird, into a lizard, into some feathered gator, razor teeth sitting, waiting, the second eyelid closed at rest, aware. It creeps up, sudden-like, doesn't skitter, no, not some dwarf possum, more like plodding, focused. There is intent, oh yes, intent. The silent genes kick in, latent DNA manifests. You don't notice you're not a man. You don't notice you're resting. Your eyes are open like a dog, a hawk, a river lizard. And this one is called Broken Ghosts. The broken ghosts are the worst. They wander the pre-dawn shadows, arms hacked off, replaced with twine, tied to hip bottles of Jaeger, trying bad pickup lines on the living. Younger than my daughter, pink sweater, push-up broad, that slightly abandoned look, too far from campus and needing to sleep it off. Rub the sleep out with empty hip bottles, an hour or so after sunrise, in about an hour. This is one of those resurrection stories. The one someone tells years after in a bar. That night I slept naked on the wharf. I've had a habit over the years of writing under different names. It's a punkish tendency in my nature because what's in a name, really? So this is kind of about that. We worry so much about fame, don't we? This crime committed to my begging soul. Do it. Write under different names. Confuse your future biographer. Live ignominiously wrapped in a dozen identities. Swear no allegiances. Love how you love. Be a scoundrel and a saint after the manner of mostly forgotten masters. What names we give these, bones etched in rock, rivers, hills, flip sea ducks riding whitecaps. These clouds, the sun, this moon, this schedule, these dogs sleeping, me wandering, not aimless, the implied meaning, not tied. But these machinations, this motion perpetual tied to the same currents as barges, as steamboats, I a God, but all things I do not know. Why there is poetry in baseball and no mercy. Watched a kid pitch one perfect inning in a snow squall. It was fucking amazing, too. This is called Replacement Killer. Day after the gig ends, I'm telling myself, it's okay, just relax, take a moment, sit in your chair, breathe maybe, watch a movie, Yojimbo or The Replacement Killer, something full of redemption, full of blood, just fucking breathe. Remember that slight panic in the back of the throat. They put it in there, years and years of covert assault, mind crimes meant to steal from you this exact moment. This one's called, It Makes Each Step a Pain, like dancing on broken glass. Even now, in the light of a day like this, the first whisper of spring, it is difficult to accept this hour's grace. There are mornings, most mornings still. I open my eyes alive and marvel, reach for you. amazed that my mind simply didn't conjure you, a defense against this bottomless hole in my chest. Sweet mirage, warm and soft, let me drink deep from your waters. As you wipe away the tears, let me pray as your sacred lips breathe life into me. This journey wears on me. The clay packed into my heels is ageless and makes each step a pain, like dancing on broken glass. Take your hands, remove these shards, and I shall be healed. I'll reach back a bit. So, a dozen or so years ago, I was mostly traveling. Which is to say I was sleeping on buses and in bus stations, and by the side of the road, and seeing a lot of the country. It really is a beautiful country if you slow down and look at it off a small screen in real life. And these poems kind of come from that. This is sunset over Ames, Iowa. This land is still flat, brown, not scorched but overturned, overused, a little too loved and a little too abused, till finally it is pummeled down into dust even Adam's God wouldn't recognize. Clouds float atop the stratosphere like algae on top of a pond where the water is too polluted to drink. The sun bleeds out like a Christ on the horizon, puddles of orange and red and blue and purple oozing across the sky, an oil spill. From this distance, no one hears the sobbing, and the tears are mistaken for spring dew. In this America, some sacrifices are necessary even at the expense of heat and light. Next to the interstate, 3 baby doe nibble on our remains. Accustomed as they are to the headlights, they fail to notice the spotlight and the pooling of blood that looks like water in the liquid darkness. This is called an expert destruction. Main Street is crooked, runs right past City Hall, the police station, then empties right in front of the university's administration building. All things tend southward here. The slopes, the hollers, the crosses. Life has been evicted and moved to the highway off-ramp. The old school is a warehouse of long-dead ideas stored up for future kindling. Boxes of unread books provide warmth and nourishment for the nest of rats and legions of insects poring over our mistakes. Outside, the street signs are picture perfect, and the old buildings are either scrubbed clean or destroyed for the parking space. An expert destruction, all evidence to the contrary, that once upon a time something grew here that did not smell of melted plastic and burning tires. Bars converted into youth centers, tobacco outlets whitewashed into ice cream stands. The future is piling down upon us, barreling 80 miles an hour, down new, wider highways, past the mega big box store where all hope is lost and sold at discount rates. But the banks at least are solid and open for business. New restaurants, same old food. The movie theater was converted into a mausoleum for ancient idealism. Everything is fine. Everything is dandy. Self-help books sell well. No one reads the classics anymore. Too many big words, too many big ideas. Poetry is for little girls and for fags. Rumi was a terrorist. Poe was a pederast. Whitman needed a shave and a real job. No one remembers the year the mountain burned. No one remembers the year the north end of town flooded. People who carry the memories have fled east into the mountains or west into the desert, searching for moonshine or for messiahs that will give them answers to nagging questions that have not formed the words to articulate properly. I thought of this poem recently because of events recent. Sometimes you go off in the world looking for some kind of enlightenment, and occasionally it finds you whether you want it to or not. This is Whitman by moonlight. Protected from sight, hidden from traffic, rolling blindly by on Route 66 northbound, nostalgia long worn thin, beaten into broken up cement, the tall grass, the little purple flowers growing on the side of the road, a cool autumnal breeze grazing each leaf, still lingering in the season like a grieving lover, unwilling to admit that love's time has passed. Shadows grow in the sunset minutes, take on the shapes of trees and brush and blades of grass. Down the embankment, tall reeds rustle in the wind. Beyond them, the railroad tracks hum. Crickets serenade me to sleep, keeping tempo with the weeping leaves. Overhead, clouds stretch thin and short like my blanket. Camped behind a fir tree, no fire to attract unwanted attention. Just thoughts of you, far away to keep me warm. My solace sings to the rhythm of north and southbound trains carrying commerce, coal and corn and unknown cargo, harmonizing with the crickets and with the sounds of the deer rustling in the brush nearby. Sometimes I think I hear music, the voices of friends laughing, the rolling sounds of songs etched into my bones over the course of years, of decades, of centuries. They are another map that will someday lead me home. These are the songs of the crickets. These are the songs cast into the wind. These songs roll across the land like southbound trains shake the ground when they pass. Moon shines through in eastern Kentucky, casts light like a loving woman's eye. I do not have you with me, but I have Whitman and a waning moon and the companionship of stars spilled across the southern Illinois sky. Thank you very much.